I'm going to be removing a ceiling fan from a high ceiling here. So I've got my little giant ladder set up, get me up here nice and high. This ladder extends to a 19-foot extension, so it's pretty convenient. Taking off a long extension is not much different than a regular one. There's supposed to be 4 screws holding this up, but there are only 2, so whoever installed it did a fairly poor job. I'm going to loosen those 2 screws, but not unscrew them all the way. And then this little plate just twists. Most all brands of ceiling fans are the same. So this little deal should have had 2 screws holding it in place, and then a 3rd and 4th screw that twist on. So that's just a decorative plate. Now onto the meat of it. So the electricity is already turned off, which is important. I'm going to grab some needle nose pliers to help me kind of pull all this out. Well, the fan's not that heavy, so this pole is the same as a short fan. It just has a longer pole. Some fans come with a little 2-inch one. So it just pops right out of here. It's a little ball and socket. So you can see how that kind of fits in there. Since it's not very heavy, I'm just going to hold it while I pull out these wires so I can work with them. Again, make sure the power is off before you do any electrical work. Usually there's just going to be either 2 or 3 plugs coming out of here, and it's going to depend on how the house is wired. So you've got your black and white, which provide power, and then sometimes you'll have a red or a blue wire. What that's for is if your house has a separate switch for the ceiling fan, you'll have that 3rd wire. Otherwise, I just took one out downstairs that just had the black and white. So what that means is that ceiling fan is going to run off of 1 light switch instead of 2. So I'm going to loosen up all these wire nuts, take them off, and then I'll separate the connections here. And last is your green wire. It comes green off of the fan. Usually from the house it's going to be just a bare copper wire. That's your ground wire. And just loosen all this guy out. So, got that separated. I'm going to set this down below. So I'm going to put these wire nuts back on here. Always a good idea to do this as a safety part first, just in case something was to happen. Someone flipped a breaker on. You are covered. Don't really need a wire nut on this copper one, but go for it. So this is the bracket that really holds the fan into place. This is what gives it its strength. This is connected just to the electrical box. And it's only held up with 2 screws. So I'll pop those 2 screws off. I'm going to save them for later. The new ceiling fan that I'm going to put up here, actually this is going to be a chandelier, but if I were to put any new fixture, it's going to come with all of its own mounting stuff, so this is now junk. But usually these screws come with the box and not the fixture, so you'll want to save those for your next project.